I am so excited to introduce Ladonna, Brave Bull Allard, and I will read her little introduction. You will bear with me here for a little second. So we are going to start with water is life. Water because, making denim requires thousands of liters of water to make just one pair. And that doesn't even account for the washing that goes into the indigo afterwards to set it in. Ladonna Brave Bull Allard is a Lakota historian and activist. In April 2016, she was one of the founders of the resistance camp of the Dakota Access Pipeline protests, aimed at halting the Dakota Access Pipeline near the Standing Rock Indian Reservation in North Dakota. It's not an exaggeration or flattery or romanticism to say that women built the Standing Rock movement and will sustain it through whatever fight is yet to come. Women have comprised the majority of the water protectors, the term coined by another organizer, Dallas Goldtooth. Ladonna is an enrolled member of the Standing Rock CU and owns the land that Sacred Stone Camp rests on, one of the water protectors' largest encampments. Ladonna's family has been in North Dakota since the 1800s, and she's been a driving force in the Standing Rock campaign. We are honored to have her at Study Hall to give a history lesson about water is life. Please help me welcome Ladonna Brave Bull Allard.
Apetu washte. Mia tamakawa shtewi. Mia ihunktuwa pawashka. And Sisitan Dakota, Hunkpapa Sihasapan Ogwala, Lakota. Enrolled member of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ladonna Brave Bull Allard. I come from Tatanka Ohitika, Brave Buffalo, who was a spiritual leader in the late 1800s, whose land I am now on, my home. When all of this whole thing started, I want you to know right up front that I had nothing to do with it. When they came and told me that they were going to build a pipeline in my backyard, I tell people, who would do that? Who would do something like that? To build a pipeline next to my son's grave? Who would have the right? Are there no human beings left in this world? So, when this whole thing started, I need you to understand, none of it had to do with me. It all had to do with the young people who stood up. We went to the schools and we talked to the kindergarten, to high school kids, and we told them to write down what water meant to them. And from every grade of the school came these three words, Miniwachoni, water is life. These are our children. So that became our cry. Water is life. And it came from our youth. And when our youth stood up and put their feet on the ground to run and pray for the water, they became our leaders. When they ran to the camp, from there they ran to Omaha, then they ran to Washington, D.C. I want to make no mistakes. It is them who are our leaders. It is their future that we are looking at. So when it comes to water, why is it important? Oh wait, I'm in California. Don't you have a water problem here? I don't know much, but this is what I do know. That water is life. Water is female. Through water, we bring children into this world. Through water, we clothe our children. We raise them. We bring food through water. Through everything that lives is water. The trees that grow, the plants, the minerals, the animals, everything relies on water. Water is life. It is plain and simple. Without water, we die. And so I don't know why the whole world is not standing up now as you guys are in trouble. I don't know why California is not in an uproar. I heard a rumor here. I heard they're going to ration water and make you guys decide whether you wash clothes or take a shower. Now, is that creepy? Are you rising up yet? Are you standing yet? Oh, wait. I heard that half your state is burning. Are you rising up yet? Are you standing? Water is life. You have the great ability to be on the shores of the most beautiful ocean. You can see it. Can you hear the waves that they're splashing against the shore? Such beauty. And that day when you're feeling just a little bit bad and things are not going right, you can go down there and you can hear those waves and it soothes you. It brings you into this calmness. It brings you back to the earth. Isn't that something to protect? That amazing ability that you get to see every day, the water. And as the water comes down out of the mountains, it's clean and clear. Oh, wait, you guys don't get that far. Your herbicides, your insecticides, your pesticides have now turned the water into something strange. I am terrified because nobody's exempt. No industry is exempt. The beautiful fashion industry is not exempt. You are all responsible for the water. I was talking to a lady earlier and I said, you know, in my culture, we go 4 days without food and water to remind us every year how precious that water is. How on that third day when your body is shutting down and you can no longer do anything but think about that water, to taste that water, to just wish for that water, to dream about that water. And that fourth day, they put that little bit of water on your tongue and you are so thankful. How many of you understand that? It's more than just turning on the tap. Water is life. One of the things that I find traveling all over the world now is we forgot the original instructions. Each indigenous people, and everybody's indigenous to this world, each indigenous people were given an original instruction on how to live with this earth, how to commune, how to provide our clothing, how to provide our food with respect to this earth. And I truly believe we can do that. I learned a lot in the last 2 years, and I'm still learning every day. But one of the things, you know, I had grandiose ideas when I was younger. I thought, oh my God, human beings must be the parasites on the land. If we eliminate the human beings, our earth would be fine. What I learned is not true. We had these great camps. 100,000 people came through, 15,000 people on the ground. We had every country in the world, every indigenous people standing. And when you have that many people on virgin territory, it's like, oh, what's going to happen to the land? I can tell you what happened to the land because I lived there. In June, I went down, and for the first time in years, I seen every type of flower blooming. I seen every type of medicine growing. I see sage, field of sage everywhere. And I thought, oh my God, humans are not parasites. Humans have a right to live here too. We just have to learn that respect. we can bring the earth back. We can bring it back to its original intent. We can do this if we live with respect. We can do this if we respect the first medicine, water. I know that I come from a different world and a different culture. I know that when I leave my home, the only thing that I see are these buffalo running around in the field and some deer, and I see eagles and hawks and birds. I see more animals than people, because we don't have a lot of people. And so I too can take that, what I see out of my own eyes, for granted. But I thought, oh my God, what happens when my grandchildren wake up and they don't see what I see? Then that's my fault. I'm at fault. My grandchildren should be able to go down to the river like I did as a child and haul the water and drink the water. We cannot do that right now. Oil development is above our river. Right now, our fish are mutating. They're coming out with open sores. What kind of world are we living in? We must respect the water. Because if we don't respect the water, we don't respect ourselves. We're going to wake up with sores all day if we don't pay attention to what's happening in our world. Here in California, where do you go to drink water out of the stream? If they still exist, there's very few of them. But wait, we're down to less than 5% of the whole world. We have 22% of still virgin territory in the world left. And all of that is in indigenous countries. And they're coming after every bit of that. When they take the last bit of the land, how will we live? I truly believe that our beautiful world has enough resources for everybody. We can provide for everybody. We waste so much in this country that we can live better. We can live with respect. As I was sitting here for the last 2 days, because I got here yesterday, I've been quietly listening to people. And I see some amazing, inventive people out here who are trying to come up with new ideas and how to develop fashion industry, how to develop cloth, how to take care of disposable waste, how to recycle. These are all really good things. But we're already at the point where we can't talk about it anymore. We must do it. And our vision, our way, we have less than 5 years left. That to me scares the hell out of me. You see what's happening in our oceans? You see the amazing earthquakes and tornadoes and hurricanes and fires and droughts and floods. They're quadrupling. Why? Because we are not respecting the earth. We have to stop taking. I had a woman say, well, what do we do? It's so overwhelming. I said, well, pick up a trash bag, pick up trash. Start simple. Everybody's responsible. I pick up trash wherever I go, because I know that one little act can change the world. And if that one little act became an act of everybody, we have already changed everything. So as we go through our lives and we keep that simple message, water is life, we can change everything. For me, if you're female, then you should be standing up for the water, because you are water. If you're female, you should have already stood up. If you're female and you're too comfortable, you're in the wrong because you're not standing up. We are at the point now that we have to make a difference. Can we make a difference? Oh, yes, we can. One thing that I know, and I don't know much, is I come from a very long line of big mouth women. My grandma, my mom, myself, we're all big mouth women. And I raised my daughter and my granddaughter to be big mouth. Use it. So we just came back from Portugal. They told us that the Prime Minister of Portugal has now issued a resolution to allow fracking and offshore drilling. If you know anything about Portugal, they are one of the first countries that can grow totally green. And so we went, we offered our help. We did an action there. And the Prime Minister of Portugal rescinded his resolution to allow fracking and offshore drilling in Portugal. If this one crazy Indian woman can get up and say something, so can you. I don't even know why anybody listens. But I believe everybody has a voice. We just got to use it. I was trying to explain about empowerment. What does that mean? And the only thing I know is my culture and my way of life. And so we have these directions that we prayed for. And we have what we call the seventh direction. That is ourself. And in that seventh direction, if we continue to heal that, we continue to make that our power. The more we make that in power, we empower ourselves. Then we can stand up and do anything. And I told them a long time ago, I don't care. I don't care anymore. If I stand by myself, I'm standing. Because I can't let this earth go without a fight. I can't let the water go without a fight. Go ahead, I'm old. Kill me. I don't care. I'm standing. And if everybody took that, we could change the world. Change the world so that we could all live with each other. Change the world where race, creed, religion does not stand in the way, that we can start being human beings. In my culture, we're not born human beings. We must strive every day to be a human being, because a human being is a person who has compassion. And you must have compassion for your fellow man to be a human being. And so all of us must strive to that method of being a human being. What kind of compassion do you have? Do you have that compassion for the water? Do you say that little prayer every time you drink the water, as I do? Do you acknowledge the existence of how sacred the water is? Because without water, there is no life. Without water, you have no life. Without water, there is no life around you. And as we see corporations understanding this whole concept, so now you're paying for water? Come on, how creepy is that? Is that not creepy? You took something so natural, so free, and we're paying for it now? Somehow or another, our world has turned upside down. Somehow we lost that seventh direction, that innermost. Somehow we have to put that back in, and we have to empower ourselves to stand up. Stand up for something greater than ourselves. Stand up for the future generations. We are taught in my culture that everything we do, we must think 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. My first great-grandchild is going to be born this coming year. What life will they have? I must do everything in my power to make sure that they could see what I see. Our lives have been extremely devastated as being Indigenous people in America. But I will tell you, we have always been like this. We are only here to help. We have never been an aggressor. We have only been the defenders and will continue to defend. And that's all I'm asking you. Defend the water. Defend the Mother Earth. And you will find the unity that everybody's looking for. Because water brings us all together. Water has no race, creed, religion, territory, nation. Water is just life. And life is so important. And it seems kind of bizarre that we have to repeat this simple thing. Water is life. But what I do know is this simple message has spread to the whole world because it's something we understand. We understand water. We understand that if we have water, we can grow and feed our families. If we have water, we can clothe our families. If we have water, we can live. That is why it's important in every part of the world. Nobody's exempt. I don't care if you're the federal government, you're the fashion industry, you're the religious industry. No matter where you sit, water is the key and always has been. I was talking to an amazing young man from Kenya by the name of Philip. And he was sitting there telling me, he said, my dream is just to be able to get a drill so I can drill a well, so we don't have to walk so far for water. It's a simple dream. What are people doing for water? There are people who turn on the tap, and there are people who walk 10 miles to carry that water. Why do we have an imbalance when water should be for everyone? So that's what I have to say about water. Anybody want to fight about it? If you really think about it, nobody's exempt. If you really think about it, everybody enjoys that amazing cup of coffee or that cup of tea every morning. Everybody enjoys that cup of water. It is not something that's abnormal. It's not something that exempt from one to another. If you're human, if you have life, you have water. That's it. There's nothing else. So, like I said, I got a big mouth, but I could probably talk for hours and hours and hours. So I'm just going to say that much. Right now, in the current things that we are doing, we are developing green energy using solar, thermal, and wind power. Not the wind towers, those are environmental disasters. Small wind towers to produce energy. We are looking at different ways to make solar panels that are more energy efficient. We are working with our youth because one of the things I learned through this whole thing is who controls the media. Who controls the story controls the world. And so we must control our own media. We must control our own words. And so we have our own media crew, and we are teaching the young people to tell their own story, to produce their own videos, because it's their story that is the future. And we are designing earth-friendly houses so that we can teach people how to live on the world again. So So we're still going forward, we're still moving, and I am still fighting a pipeline. This coming, I think in the next 2 weeks, we will hear our court decision as to whether we won finally from Dakota Access Pipeline. It will be a small victory because Dakota Access does not follow the law. We understand that. We understood that when we stood up. Now there are camps all over Canada, America, Mexico, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Colombia, Brazil, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, Kenya, Cameroon, Palestine, Israel, India. Can't remember all the countries that are. Oh, Norway, Sweden, and Switzerland, the Samis. People are standing up everywhere now. And I'm asking if you have time to stand with them. Because this is no longer this little thing or this little thing. This is now global to save the water and to save the world. And we can do it. We can do it. And I understand big money. And I understand corporations. And I understand economics and resources. That is why we went to every bank in the world that funds fossil fuel. We are only at $64 billion that we've divested so far, and we'll continue our divestment movement. And I am so thankful that Los Angeles divested. New York divested. Houston divested. San Francisco divested. Seattle divested. Along with Norway. Now we got Portugal. We are slowly. Germany is talking about it, but I think we got Germany. But as we go through with our divestment, if you want to change the world, where's your money going? Take it out of the big banks, put it in the community banks, and enhance your communities. Invest in green energy and invest in your communities and your schools if you want to make a change. Everybody is responsible. Everybody can make a change, and everybody can do this. It is not some grandiose idea. It's Grandma who's sitting over there with her pension who takes her $5 out of that bank. That counts. Okay, hetutualo. That is all I'm going to say. Thank you.